a good show.
Thank you.
Sure. What does that sound like? I like that.
Sounds like I want to dance.
Well, baby, let's go down to D.C. We'll protest in the streets. Everybody's dancing there to the new beat. Everybody wants to protest. Everybody wants to protest about something, yeah, it's true. I don't care about politics, baby, all I care is about you. Well, I just saw my mama. She's walking down the street. She got them pretty high heels there on her feet. And when that baby's walking, she's walking to a beat. I think I'd like to go dancing with her down on the DC street. But I like them tender kisses. Her kisses are so sweet. She just like the cherry blossom. Oh, that cherry I'd like to eat. She swings in a pretty dress. It flows like the wind it goes. Where that dress is bound, oh, ain't nobody knows. What's this? Is that a whale?
That's a dolphin.
Oh, bad news.
Yes.
What?
Our water's so polluted. Yes. Isn't that a shame?
Man, what? What do we do?
Your open is next.
Oh no! Is Mr. Baloo on the line? Is Mr. Baloo on the line?
Yes, he is. He's ready to go.
Something going on. I hear it's really new. On the telephone, we've got Hugh Baloo. Hugh Baloo. Hugh Baloo. Well, Hugh Baloo, tell us what is new. Tell us all about you and what you like to do.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's another beautiful day in paradise. And how are you today, ladies and gentlemen? We have a very special guest on the line, Hugh Baloo. On the telephone, we've got Hugh Baloo. Hugh Baloo. Hugh Baloo. Well, Hugh Baloo, tell us what is new. Tell us all about you and what you like to do. All right, he's live on the line, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Hugh Baloo. That's a little tune that I wrote for you, Hugh. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, we're honored to have you on the line, Mr. Hugh Baloo. Now, in the studio, on the line, we have Hugh Baloo. And Hugh Baloo, if you could give us the 30-second rendition, the elevator chat of what you are all about. Ah. Yes, and you're right. You're right. People skills. I find out in life that people who get to the top of their craft have an ability to get along well with others. And so anyway, yeah, yeah. Well, I tell you what, and of course, when you're putting all those people together, I've worked with a lot of the high school students locally, and it was a big learning process for Rhett. I'm the type of guy that isolated for years. In my 20s, I got up every day from 9 to 5. All I did was write songs. And I knew I would suffer eventually for it. I would go down to New York City and get turned down by the publishers, but I would write, write, write. I was isolated, and I knew it was probably stunting my social growth because I said somewhere it's 10 a.m. People are meeting at the water fountain, or the coffee, and they're chatting with their little breaks and growing socially. So later on in life, realizing these kids, when they team up and they get involved in an orchestra, first of all, they realize they're not the star. There are no stars, just like on a baseball team. When they win the World Series, look at one side. Well, he's the star. No, is he the star? No, it's an organization, and those that rise to the top are those that have organizational skills. So I like what you said. Now listen, this is very important, folks. You want to get along with. Now you're coming into town again. You and I met a few months ago, and you're going to be giving a seminar on leadership right here at our brand new Hampton Inn, right? Well, I should attach myself to your body and just be wherever you go for about 6 months because this is where personally I'm very attentive to what you're saying because I believe I have a little bit of a deficit, and I think a lot of self-absorbed artists do. What's great about being a talk host who has ADHD is that when you have hyper focus, it all becomes about the other person, and it's very freeing to make it about someone else. How you do that in life? I mean, come on. You've been in the music industry 30 years. Like let's say Green. What's his name? Steve Green. Did you ever meet Steve Green? Okay, God and God alone is fit to take the universe's throne. Well, he worked well with Bill Gaither. You've heard of Bill Gaither, of course. Yeah, Bill Gaither. Now, Bill Gaither is an amazing story because here he is, this teacher, and teachers don't do that well financially. Well, Bill Gaither today is a billionaire. But Bill Gaither, when kids Bill Gaither walks into a church, they'll go, "Well, I thought you were dead because your songs are in the hymnal." But obvious, but obviously, Mr. Gaither has some sort of an ability to recognize talent and to get along with others and to be able to facilitate and has done very well in the gospel music industry. I mean, $1 billion, that's a telltale sign of something doing something right, right? Okay. Yes, sir. Aha. Sure, it's just like somebody telling you, hey, man, you've got bad breath. Okay, as soon as we become cognizant of the fact, then you can brush your teeth and you can rectify the situation. By the way, I want to introduce you, Hugh Ballou, to a couple other people in the studio today. Of course, my regular co host is Beverly Ostler.
Good morning, and I love listening to you.
Yeah, and we also have Biblical Bill in here. Good morning, Biblical Bill.
Good morning.
And speaking of which, you usually have a little word of the day, just a short little phrase from the Bible. Anything that the Lord has given you to say today?
Let's see. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? That's the start of Psalm 27.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for that, Biblical Bill. Now, Mr. Ballou, Hugh Ballou. I love saying the name Hugh Ballou. That's why I had to write that song this morning. It's just like this guy. Well, you see, in the town of Poughkeepsie, New York, growing up as a kid, we had a club that sold soda pop to kids underage. And it was called There's Something New, do. It's called Hullabaloo. And yeah, and it was they had ads on the radio, and it was very popular. So as soon as I met Hugh Ballou, it was like a revisitation to my childhood. And the fact that he has this gift when it comes to leadership, it fit right in. So anyway, Hugh, I'd like to ask you this. When you're in a situation, though, in a church, there is perfunctory performance. There is even a dead performance. In other words, God looks at the heart. Man looks at the outward appearance. I personally believe I have a certain calling with my gospel music, and I go into and I'm not active with it right now. I believe the Lord has a plan for me in the future. Maybe you're part of that plan. But I go into many churches and I see a lot of performance. And I think that worship should be, it's just like the difference of when Jesus said, he comes for those who have need of a physician, not those who are perfect. And when somebody is like a broken and contrite heart, the Lord will not despise, or a smoldering wick he will not put out, or a bruised reed he will not break. I think God loves the fragrance of brokenness in people, because then when we know our need, then we know we're spiritually poor. Blessed are those who are poor in spirit, for the kingdom of God belongs to them. Right, you? So how do we bring that to the churches? How do you get people to back off from the mics and let the whole congregation initiate praise and worship, and then back off and let the people together and collectively praise the living God of Israel? Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. I have a friend of mine. He interviewed John Lennon. He's been in the radio business for 59 years. It'll be 60 years this year. He's now stepped into retirement, but he's not really retiring. He's been off taking some classes to use his voice for voiceovers. Well, he said in this new class, they said there's a whole new thrust in delivery, and that if you listen to the TV ads now, that what they do is they put a candle in front of you. If you are to talk quickly but softly, if you move the candle, you have failed. And this is what millennials are responding to. They like a softer, smoother, slower delivery. Look at it was all over the news this Sunday, right, Bev, about that the whole new thing happening in TV now is reality TV. It's very slow. People want to slow down. They're living a frenetic pace. And I think another word for this would be
they're savoring the moment.
Authenticity. So I wonder Hugh Ballou, you were in music for years. And as Amy Grant said, it's a great quote. She says, how many sermons do you remember from being a child? And how many songs do you remember? I don't remember hardly a sermon. I don't think I know one sermon, but I sure remember Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Hugh, very powerful music. Yeah. Hold on now. What's this word emergent? It's what? Yeah, yeah, and I'm not going to pick on any church, ladies and gentlemen. I go to all churches. I don't join clubs and I don't join churches. I believe it's all one church. Now, my grandmother before me, my mother before me were Catholics. Sometimes I'll go to a Catholic church and I love the pageantry, the respect. But that can become perfunctory too. That can become, what's the word, dogma. That can become a rut. And then I'll go to another church which maybe is Pentecostal, and you get all excited in the Spirit of God, and it's new. But if you do that, and do it just because that's the way we do it, then that worship is in fact dead. It's not living. And I think this whole millennial thing, I'm excited. Some people put down the millennials. They want to, well, there's a bunch of lazy millennials. There's, the 3% of the kids, rob and steal and use drugs. Well, we never talk about the 97%. And I think these millennials, I am excited. I asked why I get so many millennials listening. And they said it's not because they agree with you politically, Rhett. And they may not even believe in Jesus, but they believe you have authenticity. And that is the greatest compliment I've been given. Hugh? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now hold on. We're losing some words with you because it's going. Say that again about what? Okay. No. Yes. Oh yeah, how to grow them, and it's funny that in the book in the scriptures it says God has chosen the foolishness of preaching to and I think I'll look at somebody and I go, is he foolish? Because preaching is kind of like I went this Sunday to a church and my regular pastor is ill and we're praying for him, young guy, 30. They had an old retired pastor in there, and he kind of talked loud, and that's the way his generation did it. But I liked what he had to say, so I could overlook the loudness. But I wondered, is he doing that because he thinks he has to be dramatic, you know? And I thought about that line about the foolishness of preaching. But I also think about that line where it says God has chosen the foolish things of this world to confound those that are wise in their own eyes. Because we've all been stupid. We've all been sucked into prestige. Oh, I've got to run around frenetically trying to get a car that has a certain logo on to impress somebody. Now, do I like luxury? Yes. Matter of fact, I drive a luxury car. I drive a Mercedes. I do like it. I like the gift. All my life I wanted to have one. Now I'm successful enough to ride in luxury. But I don't think anybody's watching my logo. But when I was younger, I wanted that logo because it represented a certain lifestyle. So stepping away from that, first of all, I want to I want to promote the fact you're coming to town. I want you to tell me who is the audience. It's obviously it's pastors, it's leadership, but you're going to be giving a seminar. It's a week from this coming Friday. What's the date of the seminar?
19.
Okay, listen, we're going to be broken off automatically for the news. So tell me something. It's going to be a week from this Friday. Is it a Friday, the 19th? And everybody's invited, whether they can afford it or not. You can show up at the Hampton Inn. Will you stick around for a little while longer? Okay, we got to take a break. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen.
Are you going?
Well, I think I should.
I'd love to go.
Hold on, Hugh.
I can barely hear.
Okay.
Mr. B says he can hardly hear in his headset. I mean, no, he's Mr. B, Mr. Biblical Bill.
Frog.
All these B's going around.
And a
Okay,
Beverly.
how about now?
Check it now, please.
Mhm.
It's static.
Lots of static, he says.
Low.
All right, I'll come in when we're in the news.
Thank you.
Good, it didn't fall. I've said I want that here so this doesn't happen. I wonder if we could build in a thing that my guitar could be right here. That way,
That sounds good. The foolish is here.
good.
So,
I'll tell you now, baby, sugar, kiss is sweet.
sorry about that.
These headphones have a problem with the.
Oh, okay, just you'll be able to kind of jiggle with your.
Okay, the thing is, though, we can't have.
I know this has got to be fixed by Michael.
He's gone for a
Yeah,
month
I
and a
know.
half.
It goes in and out.
Is it on now? Okay, if it goes out, then you
Okay.
just wiggle that.
Just kind of jiggle.
It's got to have a new connector on there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll turn it down a little bit.
Okay, who can we get for an alternative to work on that? Michael's gone for a month and a half. He's off on a ship.
I don't know. Who do you have?
Well, you're a ham radio operator. Don't you guys have electrical people like this? Don't you have some old guy that knows what he's doing?
Did you pull it out?
What are you talking about?
Is it working?
Off and on.
Tell me when it's on.
That's good.
That's good? That's good?
Yeah.
Okay, leave it that way.
Okay.
We need an electrician. Hell yeah, mama, we do. We need an engineer, baby, to pull us through. You like that? Hold on. I need an electrician to get the electricity going again. Everything seems to dry up. Our love ain't like it was back when. Baby, I need a plumber to clear these lines. Stuffed up with so much crap, baby. What's yours and what's mine? Hey, baby, we need something. It's true. I don't know if you need me or I need you. I need a bulldozer to remove all the dirt. I need a construction worker to put on a brand new shirt. That's stupid, I know. But I'm just getting the genesis of the idea that you get where I was going with this. I got to think about it and be creative, you know.
Of course.
I like that.
Oh! No boundaries. That's the way you can be creative. No boundaries.
I need a hammer to slam into your head. And I would do it, baby. But what good are you if you're dead?
He's in a rare mood, isn't he?
That's a good one. I need a hammer, baby. I'd like to put it through your head. But if I use a hammer, baby, what good are you if you're dead? Then a policeman come a knocking at my door. They put me in that old jail cell, baby. I won't see you no more. Oh, baby, something needs to change. I need to turn the page where there was tenderness, Now all I got is rage. We're like two sore-tailed cats in the same cage. I need a policeman, baby, to draw a line in the sand. What am I supposed to do? What should you do as a woman? And what should I do as the man? Well, the lines have got confusing. Who is he and who is she? You know, many ancient civilizations have fallen when each sex becomes filled with hostility. Baby, the lines have blurred in my head. Is this love still alive, or are we the living dead? So many walls and fences we build in time. Am I still yours? Are you still mine? So, what else do I need? Let's see. We need a preacher, baby. A sermon that can save our breath. If we don't get a good sermon, baby, this relationship has surely touched death. Baby, I'm down on my knees. We're bleeding profusely. Can't you see? I don't know if I still love you, and I'm not too sure that you still love me. What should we name that?
Lost.
Let's see.
But I really want to work with you on that book. I feel very strongly about that concept of the poetry after the story.
You can't always be there to help your loved one when they need it, but we can. The Visiting Nurse Association's trusted caregivers help with everyday tasks like providing transportation, medication reminders, and assisting with around the house responsibilities. We are here for those uninsured and underprivileged students to preserve the safety of your loved one. We're the VNA's traffic services.
You know, he's our VNA model, Rhett. You are the VNA. You're the model for VNA.
Oh,
I actually like that melody I wrote for him. That's fun. Yeehaw! Hey, I don't even have any coffee. You didn't give me my coffee. I'm hyped up and I don't even have my coffee.
It's because I was so busy sitting at the desk.
Yeah, I come in here this morning, I walk in the door, I go, "Hi, Mayor." You know, she's just sitting here propped up, reading the paper. She's taking over. Typical female. Oh, here we go. Oh, all biblical Bill. Okay. Okay, so what are you going to give us a quote about?
Let's see. You
Something
wanted
that's pertinent to the subject matter of leadership.
leadership. Okay.
What were you going to do? What do you have right out there?
Oh, you asked me to look at the foolishness, but that might.
No, the foolishness of preaching?
Uh-huh.
Okay, find leadership, something leadership.
Leadership.
Yeah.
Okay, stand by, open and snack.
Okay, ready for action, ladies and gentlemen, with Mr. Hugh Ballou. Ah, yes, it is I on the line this morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Something going on. I hear it's really new. On the telephone, we've got Hugh Ballou. Hugh Ballou. Hugh Ballou.
Yes, Hugh Ballou is on the line, and Hugh Ballou was a conductor for, 30 years, right, Hugh?
40, 40.
Oh, oh my word, 40, that's the number of testing, you realize. Because you think that, but look, Moses was up there, 40 years, and Noah was out there 40 days, 40 nights. Jesus was out in the wilderness 40 days, 40 nights. So after 40 years, you quit, huh? You escaped.
Called to another ministry, which is helping organizations do the best they can be. I wanted to respond to something you said just before the break.
Okay.
Having the workshop on the 19th and going to invite people. I need to have people registered because we need to have lunches and workbooks and all the preparation. So I do need to know in advance that people are coming. If they go to Leadership Zero, leadershipzero.com, it takes them to the page on the event. One of the recommendations that people get when I $1,000 worth of free stuff. It'll help improve it. But I'd like to know if people come and there's an email from me on
Okay.
the page.
Okay. What?
Just Leadership Zero.
Well, hold on. Leadership Vero. Now, now you do this all over the place. Why Vero? You feel a certain calling to Vero? I mean, you actually created a website just for leadershipvero.com?
It's a forwarding domain. It goes to my online community from my charity.
Ah. Now, why? I want to ask you this. Why Hugh Ballou? I haven't quite figured it out yet. I met you. I've had you on the phone. You know, I love your name. I went over there and I met you briefly. But what is motivating you to do this? I don't think it's monetary. I'm figuring 40 years. You probably have a good retirement, but you're very sincere and you're the kind of guy that calls people back when they call you, which is hard to find in today's world. In other words, you have a fragrance of integrity. So I'm wondering, why are you doing all this?
It's a calling, and I don't understand what the word return means. I've been called to do what I want to do and what I can do. Because, in so many years of service, we've had a lot of learning opportunities. And I don't pay myself for these, and sometimes I break even. But I have a network as well, and I've done a Melbourne and Bureau before, and there's some really good people with really good projects there. So it was calling my name, and so I came back to Bureau. And, that's where really karma is.
So God loved me so much that He had to send me my own Hugh Ballou. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of work being done. There's really important work. Rhett, it's more important today than ever before in history. We're going to be much better than dollars. And there's 8 different streams of revenue. Most charities don't even know that they can use to help people how to do that. Well, really, it's not about the money, but we've got to have gas in the car. We have the gas in the city needs to go somewhere. And in our charity, it's like putting gas in the car that we have. Because like charity, we can do something with it. And so it's got to get the market. And our job is to know how to
Now, let me ask you this. I mean, this nation gives more to the world than any nation in history. We are a giving people. We are a forgiving people, and we are a giving people. And do you have any stats on that? I mean, I hear these things all the time, like churches were given $350 billion last year. Anything? Do you have any specifics?
I do not. I do not.
Let's look into that.
There's a lot of money that's not given because the churches and charities don't know how to ask for it, don't know how to position themselves for it, and don't know how to be worthy of that donation.
Worthy of it, yeah.
One of maybe the frustrations that you're right.
Hold on, we're losing you again.
Okay.
Yeah, you're back now.
You're
What? No. It's electronic. You're saying things, but the hard thing is you'll go and there'll be a special word, an important word to your sentence, and then we'll lose you. And it's kind of I'm trying to put the pieces together, you know.
We compromise by our lack of what's possible. In most communities, the nonprofits, charities, and churches think they're competing for a small amount of dollars, when there's a much bigger pool and many more ways for them to collaborate, not compete, because there's a much bigger pie, and everybody can have a business one. So we don't see any wrong with this. Even with the word nonprofit, that we start thinking influence, we start thinking.
We start thinking. Hold on. You see, we're losing every third word. You start thinking what? It's a what word? It's a what word? Yeah.
Scarcity.
Okay.
It's what we're defining ourselves by what we are, which isn't necessarily correct. We're practicing the charity, and we are there to provide social benefit to others.
Now, what about? But you know, I think why people get concerned. Like we have a place in town called The Source. And long before it was popular, every advertisement I put in the local paper promoting my show, I would always take a certain, like almost like a little bit of a tithe and put it towards The Source. Now they've changed leadership over the few years, and I don't know this leadership too well, but I know that some people have driven up and they've gone, well, why should I give them money? There's just a bunch of homeless people hanging around getting a free meal. Okay, so let's say that 80% of the people are just hanging around in slothfulness. Okay, first of all, there's no rule like that you can't. I know it says in the Bible, the man does not work, neither shall he eat. Or actually, if you do that consistently, you're really robbing somebody of self-respect. You know, if you see somebody able-bodied, I roll down my window and say, "Hey, you got two legs, two arms. Come on, baby. I've been to Haiti where there aren't jobs, so you know you can work in America if you want to. Do something." But that being said, there still has to be a place of mercy because, okay, let's say 80% of the people they use the system. But what about the 20%? And you know, you know what the median age is of someone who's homeless in Indian River County? Nine years old. So, 9 years old. And I want to be there for that child. And I believe everybody listening to this, if they had a choice and they knew they were helping that 9-year-old, we all want to help, don't we? I hope so.
Yes.
I sure.
Remember the commercial by a company called B8 that's down? So you don't buy what we make, but what you buy, we make better. Do you remember that commercial?
I don't. No, I'm sorry.
Well, what Series does is it helps charities be better, but what they do learn how to spend their money, build their teams, build their structure so they can be more of what they are. And part of it is to find why our work is important, so people know why we need to support it. And so a lot of us don't know that part. We know what we do, Rhett, but it's that 90% that we don't know. We're compromising our work. So about what you were saying before, I would tell them what to do. I don't get on the fish. I teach how to fish, as the old saying goes.
Yeah.
Therefore, I equip people to be more what God gives.
Well, okay, let me ask you this. I'm going to take it home for me. Forgive me my selfishness, ladies and gentlemen, but I've owned my own broadcast for 23 years. And I have some people, some doctors, some restaurants like CJ Cannon's or Dr. Mallon or Dr. Tim Ioannidis, Treasure Coast Dermatologist. These people have been with me 16 to 23 years on average. Each one of them over 16 years. Okay, so thank God for them. But I have to go out and schlep and sell ads, right? What it really befuddles me is that this thing called NPR. Now I understand they started when we just had CBS, NBC, and ABC, but they get millions of dollars and then in this very town. And I understand they have all this great equipment, which they have stuffed away, but they can't sell it to me so I can have a better studio because it's owned by the state and there's certain laws that they have to set it up for auction and stuff. So we're sitting in here with okay equipment while my tax dollars are being used for a competitor because people tell me they listen to NPR and they listen to me, they listen to me, they listen to NPR, and they go back and forth. And NBC, CBS, and ABC. Now we have 600 stations. I just don't think it's proper that NPR and PBS gets all this money and competes against me. Why can't they go out and if people really want to support it, they can either support it by giving or they can go out and have a salesperson to convince people.
They actually do all of that. And it is a charity. They cannot, what profit is in the charity of any kind, it's government or charity protecting them, but cannot dispose of it. It's set by law. So there's very certain laws. That budget for NPR comes with donors and sponsors. Some of it comes from donors. It's a dwindling percentage.
Mm-hmm.
But most comes from donors and sponsors. If you listen to NPR, you'll find sponsors right more stations open because it's a highly educated audience.
Yes.
Related to the audience are sponsors.
Oh, by the way, since you said Mercedes, I just want to put a little live read in for this. I don't have any papers in front of me, but folks, I just purchased a Mercedes from Coggan Osteen down there in Fort Pierce, and so did Barbara. We've gotten great service. The people there are affable and friendly. And if it's time in your life where you can afford to gift yourself a wonderful vehicle, it's prestige. It's not a Bentley, it's not a Rolls Royce, but they are somewhat of a prestige vehicle, but they certainly are a joy to drive. So when you go down to Coggan Osteen, go see Mark. He's the one that sold me my car. They're delightful people. Tell them that you heard about them on my show, would you? Because that's what keeps this community program on the air. People like Coggan Osteen down there, right? Okay. Check out the new GLE. That's what I got, the SUV, and I love it. Do you like my new GLE, Beverly?
Oh, it's smooth, really
Your
smooth.
mic's not. Her mic's not on here, Mr. B. Her mic is not on.
It's
That's a good proposal decision because Mercedes holds values, traded in any more for it. So basically, it's not costing as much. Second effort, you trade an effort to get money. So once you remove that glass, it's good. You're actually getting the best vehicle, and it's actually very wise financially because you maintain that trade impact. So you made a very economic decision there. And we don't make that economic decisions for churches and charity. We want to dump down to the scarcity. We want to think differently. It's back to the transformer.
See, we're losing you. Do you have a landline where you could recall us that we played some ads?
Absolutely. You and I'll call you on.
Okay, yes, 778-3500, 772-778-3500. Mr. B, take us up for some advertisements now, and we'll come back and get Hugh Ballou back on the line. Remember, he's going to have a seminar coming up a week from this Friday. If you can afford to attend, what's the website they should go to, Hugh? LeadershipVero.com. We'll be right back.
like beep, beep, beep. Now background, beep, beep, beep.
We're missing every third, fourth word. It's very frustrating.
Prime rib at night with hamburgers, patty melts, and a host of the usual luncheon offerings served in a not so usual way.
How's
CJ
Richard?
Cannon's, that's the place.
Do you know?
There,
Who's Richard?
over
Oh,
the
Richard.
road,
No, they're not telling me.
home-style restaurant with food and service that will make you
I put a request for prayer on Facebook. Did you see it?
CJ Cannon's.
We've gotten a ton of people that are praying for him. You know?
567-7727. That's 567-7727. Or better yet, something going on. I hear it's really new.
Skin cancer is the most common of all cancers. Protect the health of your skin with regular exams by a board-certified dermatologist.
Yeah.
Specializing in the treatment of skin cancer,
Can
Treasure
change.
Coast Dermatology has offices in Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River counties, with their newest location in Vero Beach. Call toll-free 877-870-DERM. That's 877-870-3376.
Yeah, when she was speaking, you weren't responding. Were you talking to somebody?
Steve Olds called. Yes, I was. And I had turned her mic off because she'd left the set. And then I didn't see her come back.
Okay. I think we need to limit people to phone calls when we're on the air. You know, so you can be focused in on this. Is he coming in, or what was his excuse?
It's not an excuse. He asked me if he can cut a spot at noontime. So I don't stay long on the phone, but I got to answer this thing.
Okay, so are you accommodating him or what?
Yes, I'm here till 12:30.
I got to talk to Barbara, you know, because these things get out of hand. I mean, I don't mind, but maybe the client should be, if they're going to not do it in the normal time, then they should have to pay for that extra time that we're paying you. You know what I'm saying? Not that we can't really afford to pay you, we can, but it's like people start to take advantage of that, like the cops, you know, and people don't realize we give the cops their show. I actually cost me hundreds of dollars every month to air that cop show, and we don't get paid anything from it. We do it as a community service, but people don't know that, you know.
I know, but okay. So what do you want me to do if somebody calls from now on?
I want you to tell them take a rocket ship to the moon and screw you. No, I'm only kidding. Yeah, you have to take the oath. I understand. You know, what are you gonna do? I don't know what to do. I'm not. You're an organizer. I'm not, Mr. B. That's where you shine. So, you know, we should confer once in a while. Though I like the way you can structure things. So you have a much better ability, capacity, and intellect for that.
Okay, this is the last ad, and then Beverly's Rejoin is next.
Oh, good. Put it on. Put it on.
It's on.
Can you hear?
Yeah.
Can you hear?
Mm-hmm. You are listening to the winner of the airwaves.
Something going on. I hear it's really new. On the telephone, we've got Hubaloo.
Hubaloo. He's still on the line. How you doing, Hubaloo? Much better, because we all agreed in here. We were losing every third or fourth word, and we really we're listening to you with bated breath because what you have to say is very important to us. Leadershipvero.com. Now, Hugh, you're going to be coming to town to the New Hampton Inn. I love that New Hampton Inn, by the way, and giving a seminar. Explain what the seminar is about. And now, who would be? Now, you mentioned pastors. If they're experiencing burnout, they might want to come because you can rejuvenate them. Who else would be the target audience for this seminar?
people who are making a difference. It's really how do you run this organization? How do you empower collaboration around you? Community foundations, people who run local charities, membership organizations like it, people in chambers of commerce, other business bureaus, anybody running a tax-exempt organization. And you go to Leadership Bureau, email is on the bottom there. Before the testimonies, people are welcome to email me for specific questions, and I'm happy to answer them. And I'm going to be in the area for Wednesday and Thursday, so I'm going to talk to people locally.
Well, maybe we'll have you come into the studio again. Yeah, we can hear you really well. To be completely clear, my listeners are my friends. So, what, like, there's a real estate firm in town here, and they're doing on average at least $600 million a year. And so, they spread out the word, as they should, that they're giving millions of dollars away to the community. What people don't realize is that this little guy, me, who's not so little, but we have given away millions of dollars of airtime. For instance, the sheriff's office, every week it costs me hundreds of dollars to give them the airtime to have their show. Does anybody recognize that? No. Now this other firm on the beach will get awards from the Chamber of Commerce and all these things, and we've never, and maybe that's okay. And maybe those who do something and don't get the reward here will get a reward somewhere else. But it would be nice if people were cognizant about that. And so I would like to know how to diplomatically, communicate that, over the years we've given millions and millions of dollars of airtime to charities, and I know there's one, for instance, in town here, the Red Cross. And we gave them, I did a national jingle, went national for years. Am I a little bitter? Well, it went national. I gave it to them, took no residuals, and it won 2 national Addy Awards. And then we had them on locally, we had them on for hurricanes and stuff. And then somebody left them $250,000. They put ads on other stations and other magazines, and they never even called us. And so I go, ouch, ouch,
Those. That's another longer conversation you and I can have. I'm happy to address that. But that happens to all of us. And so.
We're off.
You're off.
Q, what happened to him? I need to hear him. I can't hear him.
And it's important people understand that. And it's back to what you said before. When we help other people, there's a Rhett helping more than an empowering helping. It's how we set up that dynamic.
All right, please put my mic on so I can talk to him. Yeah. Okay. We got to take a break. We got to take a break for the news. We'll be right back. Okay, Hugh. What I want you to do is let's talk on the phone. Not now, but in the future, because I don't know. Is my next guest here, by the way?
Yes, he is.
Oh, he is here. Okay. Let's have you back. When are you coming to town? Not this week. It's next week, right? Okay. Okay. Now, my problem is I'm going out of town from Monday to Thursday, so maybe I could have you come in. I really would like to do it though. Shucks. But wait a second. Oh no, you're giving the seminar on Friday, so you can't come on Friday. Well, I tell you what. Right now, I got to take care of some business here. Let's talk later in the day. Right? Give me a call, would you? Thank you, Hugh Ballou.
Would you like some coffee?
No, thanks.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well.
Good.
Good to see you.
Do you know Biblical Bill? Have you met him before?
I've not.
Okay.
Paul Sexton.
Nice to meet you, Paul.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, that's a good place for you to be. You can see you well there, and for our Facebook people.
Oh, okay.
Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to kill the Facebook, and then I want to start out fresh, okay? Because okay, you.